acercarme un poco más y con tu permiso bordear con mis manos tu figura. Roba.
Welcome to H5C in your community, where we provide valuable information to our members. And well, today, like always, we have our president, and then we also have a special day planned out for everyone. We have the New Health Chiropractic Center in the house today, and we'll be talking to them, Dr. Tommy Lee and Vanessa.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Thank you.
So, Johnny, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, about myself, myself is right now posting on our H5C in your community radio show fan page on Facebook about this event or this show. If we go to radiofusionlatina.com and YouTube and tune in, I think there's all sorts of medium that we're reaching. And we're reaching not just locally here, but also in the state and also around the world. So we're broadcasting live around the world. Welcome to H5C in your community.
And for those who are watching for the very first time, my name is Ray Villanueva. I'm the vice president with H5C in your community. And Johnny?
And I'm Johnny, the president, and Vanessa Rodriguez and Tommy Lee. So, I had to throw in that little Facebook.
Yeah, of course.
Facebook
give yourself a plug.
You got to do the social media. So,
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Did you guys do anything special?
Yeah, on Friday we started off. We went to a senior helper expo over in Orinda. So we had set up a booth as a vendor, and we got to do some health screenings for some of the seniors and the helpers as well.
Nice, excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
So at In Shape, we're doing a health workshop on nutrition this Wednesday at In Shape. So we were there promoting that talk Saturday and Sunday mornings. So that was
Excellent.
That was really fun too.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you guys rest?
Sometimes.
Not yet.
We put it in the schedule every once in a while.
Okay, there you go. You know, what did you do, Ray? Anything special happen?
No, pretty much just spent time with my daughters and work.
I guess this is what vice president, presidents do. Is,
I know, right?
When the weekend comes, we're like, it's family time.
I know.
That's awesome.
We're just, I went to Chuck E. Cheese with my kids.
Oh, that's
At a
nice.
birthday party, and we
Nice.
saw Mr. Chuck E. Cheese. His middle name's E.
How's he doing?
It's true. It's true.
Still going strong. He's been around for a while.
He's fuzzy. He hasn't aged. I haven't seen any gray hair.
I haven't been there in a while, but I remember it being some good pizza.
Yeah,
remember that.
actually, it's very good.
It is the pizza that most of the kids like going there, but it's also the games. My kids were throwing the deep ball left and
Oh yeah.
quarter a game. Throwing
Yeah.
the balls. I think they got a little tired of it. It was fun.
Good.
It's fun.
So let's get the show started. We have this date in history. We also have a business. I call it a business insight. What to do for your business. We're also going to have a segment on just for you guys.
That's awesome.
We're also going to talk about our legislative day.
That'll be great.
Last Tuesday, and
Right.
also the interview that we did with a video
Sure.
of the Cal Bev Association. We're going to listen to that interview as well and cover upcoming events.
Do we have that recording?
Yep, we have it recorded.
All right,
It's
awesome.
ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a great interview.
We're going to be showcasing that on segment 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody can guess what happened today in history? Any throw out any feelers?
I was thinking about my Levi jeans. Levi jeans began in San Francisco this day. And what year was that?
It was
1873.
1873.
Isn't that around the time you were born? No?
I think it was around the time you were born.
I
I'm kidding. Well,
Count the gray hairs over here.
know, right?
Let me read this little excerpt because it's really interesting because everybody loves blue jeans.
Right.
True.
But they don't know how it really started. So back in 1873, a San Francisco businessman, Levi Strauss, and a Reno, Nevada tailor, Jacob Davis, was given a patent to create work pants reinforced with metal rivets, marking the birth of one of the most famous garments, the blue jean.
Blue jeans.
And of course, their most famous brand is the 501 brand jean. But until 1890, it was called XX. the model. The model
Really?
of that jean was called.
For what, extra large or?
To be honest with you, the denim jean actually started out as work pants for the manufacturer workers, and it was tough and is durable, and we all love blue jeans, but over time it became a fashion.
Wow, their name changed in 1890.
1890.
I love that it used to be known as waist overalls.
I know, right?
Waist overalls.
Waist overalls.
Yep. It's pretty interesting how the blue jeans came about, and it wasn't very expensive then, and it should be not that expensive. Levi's is actually one of the more affordable jeans out there, so it's great.
Yeah, it also talks about the overalls and how overalls are just used for work, but then it became a fashion statement to wear the overalls.
Right.
True.
I mean, you just got all those pockets. I mean, what are you going to do?
Right, I know.
Now we need it. We got keys, we got wallets, we got cell phones, we got coins, little pieces of paper, never know. So
I had a pair back in the day.
Oh,
I
really?
think we all
Oh,
did.
yeah.
They're coming back too, overalls.
then you just
I don't
had the two straps. Then if you're cool, you did the one strap.
Yep.
I had this progression.
you had the one strap, cool.
The one strap going.
The one with the flap.
yeah, flap it forward.
that works. That works.
Oh gosh,
That's great.
let's not bring that style back.
Oh, you know what?
Don't get me.
The style will be dependent on the demand of the buyers.
Yes.
So that is our what happened today in history. Another topic that we like to use is a business insight tip. We're talking about our business, constantly. We're out there in expos, we're out there in mixers and ribbon cutting. The topic today is, how do you make your brand pop? Or the title that I want to go about is making your brand, your name or your company pop by telling a story.
That's
and
perfect.
there's three key components on that. Do you guys want to share the three key components based on, and this information I got from Entrepreneur Magazine,
Right.
dated May 19, 2014, and it's written by, there's no author, but it is on entrepreneur.com. I did not make this up. This is three ideas on how to make your brand become more of a story rather than trying to sell it.
Yeah, and it was a great article because it really just, ties into people, want to connect with you, and that's how you do business, is with people that you know, like, and trust. So the three main points that they talked about really just made sense, and we have to make some changes how we market ourselves. But so the first one is match your story to your style. So you want to portray your business as, who you are, your personality, so it's easier to connect to. And then make an emotional connection, let a little bit more about yourself revealed so that people can understand you on a different level, not just the "Hi, I'm Vanessa, I'm a chiropractor" level. Just
Right.
Get to know you in a different sense, and then just make it easy to share. So simple, just quick story that people can share with their friends, share with their family, and get the word out, because that's what it's all about. Especially when you are starting a business, is to reach as many people as you can.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Right.
Let's use an example. In your chiropractic field, how would you be able to use these 3 points and just make it turn it into a quick story? Just think about your past clients or past experience. Would you be able to tell a quick story about what you guys do?
But remember, though, make it your style, and then
Fun.
keep emotional connection, and then
And
make it easy to share.
Let me know when I hit each of those points.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just how I got involved in chiropractic. I was personal training, working out, threw too much weight on the rack,
Right.
and ended up hurting myself. One of my clients referred a chiropractor to me, and I was just like anyone else. A chiropractor deals with back pain, back, neck, all this stuff. But then the chiropractor was great because he sat me down and really educated me on what chiropractic is, and the fact that the spine protects the spinal cord and nerves, and the nerves control all the organs. So I never knew that my back could affect my digestion. My back could affect my breathing. So once I started learning that, I just totally got involved in it, and just ended up going to school, and now I get to teach it to people who don't know it, just like I didn't know it.
Excellent, and that's a great story.
That's a really good story.
You matched your style because you were working out, and you look pretty fit. You like to work out, and I've seen you on Facebook, and you're very active. And that fits your style in regards to that story. The emotional connection, you got hurt and you got better, but you learned out of it. And easy to share is, of course, you always want to make sure your story is personalized, so people can and makes sense, and that way people can feel about that. I wish I could do the same thing with insurance, because trying to make a connection with insurance is a whole different animal.
Let's face it, it's boring.
It's boring. Well, I can tell people, when people actually have an accident, that's the story that I tell. I tell this story all the time. What happens when you're and this is strictly earthquake, because I do a lot of earthquake insurance. But what happens when your house or your apartment complex that you own or invest shifts from the foundation a couple inches? The county's going to come in and they're going to red tag you, and then next thing you know, your tenants are not going to pay you every month.
Good. Yeah, that's important.
Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? As your insurance agent, you're going to say, I want you to help take care of that. That's how
exactly.
it is. So.
Okay, I'm bored.
Yeah, and we can apply the same thing to mortgages too. People.
That's another boring topic.
Well, before I believe all of our products and services help each other, or help the there's a need for
different
it.
Times, yeah.
At different times, absolutely. But the point is that you got to create something by telling a story. My boss is great at telling stories,
Right.
insurance stories.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he'll tell you 40 years of experience of insurance stories, and it's
they're all
intriguing.
exciting.
And they're all exciting, actually.
Let me ask you one question. I know we're going to talk to you about your company more in the second segment. Do you target more towards athletic people, athletes, or?
No, actually, I mean, we're open to all. Because like he was saying, like if you have a spine, which everybody does, we can see you. So we've had our youngest be just, I think, under a year old, and our oldest patient be in their 80s. So
Nice.
it really just depends. If you want a little extra boost in just any avenue of your health, then we can help out. Absolutely.
Great. All right. So on that note, on the next segment, we'll be talking more to the New Health Chiropractic Center. So after this break, we'll be right back.
¿Necesitas asesoramiento con respecto a un caso de inmigración? Nos especializamos en todas las áreas del derecho migratorio. ¿Quieres conseguir tu estadía legal en el país? Solo hay una cosa por hacer. Llama al 415-777-4445. www.kpblawyers.com. Son tus abogados de confianza. Llama al 415-777-4445. Con oficinas en San José, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Santa Rosa, Napa, Ukiah y Sacramento.
Are you in deportation proceedings? Do you have a bill facing deportation? If the answer is yes, we will find the best avenue for you to obtain Contact Karosky, Purvis, and Book at 415-777-4445 or www.kpblawyers.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to H5C, your community, where we provide valuable information to our members. And in our last segment, we were talking to the New Health Chiropractic Center, and we're going to continue to speak to them. Dr. Tommy Lee Wolf and Vanessa, welcome. So
Thank you.
I asked a question about, if you work more with athletes, but you were mentioning that you work with different ages.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, we see athletes, we also see. So, well, when you look at the spine, the nervous system controls everything. So, anytime you have spinal misalignments, it's going to interfere with, like, for a child, the development of the child, or for an athlete, that's going to help them react faster because it's all the nerves, right? So, in order to be at your full potential, life, health, and well-being, you got to take care of your spine.
That is true.
True. That's very true.
Now, real quick, let's do a quick promo. Where are you guys located?
Yeah, so we're right on Treat Boulevard in Concord, so 4180 Treat Boulevard. We just began our practice a year ago this May, so
excellent.
we just
Nice.
celebrated our 1 year anniversary, so we're
Excellent.
really excited to be a part of the community and getting our name out there. It's been a lot of fun meeting a lot of people, and it's a great area too.
Good. What's the cross street on Tree
A
Boulevard?
Treat and Cowell.
Tree and Cowell. Okay, up
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, so yeah, closer to Clayton Road.
Got it.
Yeah, there's a 76 gas station right there that everyone seems to
Right.
identify with.
Yes.
So we're
That's
right
right.
next to the 76 gas station. The office building's right in there.
Oh, okay. I know exactly where you are now.
Yeah. That's a 76 gas station. If we didn't have it there, I don't know what we would do.
And what is your phone number and your website?
Yeah, you can reach us at 925-759-9722, and our website's thenewhealthcc.com. There's a lot of great promotions on there, a lot of great information, articles, things like that. So if you guys have any other further questions, you can check out the website.
Excellent. And how big is your office? How many doctors in the office?
So yeah, so we have an office building. There's two other doctors in there. There's also 2 massage therapists and 2 estheticians in there. So we got a lot of stuff to treat a wide variety of conditions.
Excellent. And those estheticians and the massage therapists, they're on call on your payroll, or independent contractors, or you guys kind of share clients?
They're independent contractors, and we refer back and forth.
Okay.
Whatever. If there's a patient with a lot of soft tissue work that needs to be done, just pass them off.
Sure.
To soft tissue meaning muscle.
Massage, massage therapy, absolutely.
Excellent. I know that there's a specialty within chiropractic field. There's the spine, I guess traditional chiropractic, and then there's the NUCA
Yeah.
chiropractic
Look at
as
you
well.
throwing out those chiropractic
I'm
words.
going to try to stump you guys. So can you explain to the audience the difference between both, and which one do you specialize in?
Yeah, I mean, like with any profession, there's different specializations, right? So, like you were saying with insurance, there's a million different types of insurance that we can choose from, and it just depends on what you need and what relates to you. So, chiropractic, same kind of thing. Like NUCA is a different type. There's, activator, all these different types, and what we do is what we call structural or corrective care. So that's really working with the spinal curves of your body. So you're naturally supposed to have 3 curves from the side in your spine, and it's supposed to be straight from front to back. And with that, the nerves are able to function. They're able to flow freely without interruption, and things like your digestive system, your breathing system, your everything will work at 100%. And so unfortunately with traumas, repeated postures, stress, all these different things, gravity we're constantly dealing with, those curves starting to straighten out and cause problems in the actual body. So we do exercises before and after each adjustment, and work with not only the spine but the muscles and the ligaments around it to really bring those curves back to as near normal as possible.
Okay.
And with that, you hold your adjustments longer, and you're able to function better after that.
Good. Do you recommend medications or after the treatment, or is there anything more that, let's say for instance, a patient goes to you with a back issue?
Sure.
I'll tell you, a past issue I've had is playing softball too hard, making a big swing. Next thing you know, my lower back is killing me.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
You probably heard that.
Yeah, he plays softball, so he hears it all the time.
I experienced it all.
You experience it. You over torque your lower body, and you need relief. Besides the adjustments, is there other stuff that and of course we don't want to give away the shop, but
Well, I mean, typically I I was just playing softball this Friday, and it was funny to see how the older we get, the less we warm up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The Friday before, I think my first throw
Right.
was in the outfield. Like I didn't even warm up. You know what I mean? So, one, you got to get ready for the game. You know, one, we're older, so it takes even longer, and it is more important than the beer before the game, right? But like, just time it out. You got to get ready. But after you swing and you hurt yourself, I mean, ice is great. You know, stretching, chiropractic, any sort of way to stimulate the area without overstraining it.
Okay.
Will wake up the nervous system and send the healing impulses there to help get it better.
Would you recommend a hot bath?
Hot bath, well, heat, you want to, the first 48 hours you want to use ice.
Ice.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
For the inflammation?
Yeah, for the inflammation. So,
Wow.
Stay with the first 48 hours, stay with the ice. The next couple of days you can alter ice and heat.
Okay.
And then you can go more heat after that.
What do you think about those heat pads? Do they really work?
Like this, the ones you stick
Right.
on?
Yeah.
I mean, like I
The
said,
Asian medicine. I had to throw that one in there.
good shout out there. If, like he said, if it's a chronic issue, something that you're dealing with, for weeks or months at a time, those will help relax the muscles, which is good to help you get more motion in there, because that's ultimately what we strive for every day, is to get motion in our bodies.
Right.
Because you hear that if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, we see that all the time. It's definitely a true statement. But it doesn't. I mean, like he said, warming up doesn't have to be just with sports too. Like if you're at the office all day sitting for 8 hours,
Wow.
getting to 12 hours, getting up and walking around, taking 5-minute breaks where you can just walk around the office. If you're going to go get lunch, maybe walk to a place you can get lunch. Just getting those little bursts of movement will really help stabilize your body and your spine.
Yeah.
So,
What would you recommend for a person working 9 to 5, sitting at a desk?
You got to get up and move around.
Every hour, every half an hour, every.
I mean,
hour.
I mean, every hour is good. I mean, ideally, every half hour, every 15 minutes, get up and move around.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because the human body's not meant to just be static in one position, right? As cavemen, you're going out, you're finding food and coming back. You're never just sitting down for 8 hours.
Right.
So if you're sitting down, the hip flexors get tight, the hamstrings get tight. So you get all these muscular imbalances. So then you get up, you walk around to loosen that up. Right? Because if you don't, and then you become a weekend warrior, you go out and play softball, and then you hurt yourself, you're like, oh, I just hurt myself. And nah, man, you've been hurting yourself for the past 10 years at your job.
Right.
And then you just finally strained it. It was kind of like the last
True.
straw. So.
You also mentioned that the older we get, the less we stretch out. Should we be doing something every morning in a sense of maybe stretching in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you want to keep the body in motion, right? Motion is life. So the more stuck you get,
right,
the less you can move, express yourself, and also the stiffer you are, the more severe the injury will be.
Oh,
and the more easier it is to get injured.
True.
If you fall or something, if you're not flexible and you fall, that's gonna be a lot different than if you're very flexible and you fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna get as hurt.
it's true.
I equate it to an icicle, I guess, or something that's solid, and
It just
you're trying to
snaps.
you're trying to flex it, it snaps.
Right.
I guess
That's a good
and
way
same
to
thing
put
with your muscle. It's tight, nice and tight. Next thing you know, it's stretching and it's stretching too.
Yeah,
far,
it's
or
just
you're
like
letting-
it's just like a regular rubber band. You stretch it out to a frozen rubber band.
right.
Right.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
Frozen rubber band.
yeah, you just gotta take care of yourself because it's the only body you got.
That's true.
What about the type of foods? Do they have anything to do with it? The type of food that we
Foods?
eat? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, food's one of the biggest staple besides the chiropractic that we preach in our office, because it's what you have the most control over. You don't need a doctor to feed you every day, right? So we do health workshops like that at least once a month or something like that. But it's really important on limiting the processed foods, the chemical foods, the foods that have all these toxins, because they cause inflammation in the body. And when you have inflammation in the body, you're more susceptible to injury and more susceptible to aches and pains too.
Yeah, and as well.
And for the listeners out there, give me a couple of examples of processed or unnatural.
I mean,
Anything boxed, packaged that you can heat in a microwave. It hasn't come from the earth.
Yeah, so we just had our nutrition workshops for our patients in our office last night, and the main thing is you want to eat stuff that comes from earth, that's natural food, rather than food that's made by man, made in a factory, made in a lab or something like that. Because when you eat the natural foods, your body knows what to do with it. When you eat foods that are highly processed, chemical, colors, all this stuff, your body doesn't know what to do with it, and then it takes longer to digest it. So if your brain, your nervous system spends more time digesting food, it's spending less time fighting environmental toxins, invaders. So your immune system gets weaker.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
So basically, like one of the great ideas you can stay by is the closer the food is to its natural state, the healthier it is. So the farther away it is, the more toxic it is for the body.
So natural state. Let's say, for instance, tomato, raw.
Tomato.
That's natural.
Yeah.
Right.
Tomato sauce, not good.
Yeah,
Not as natural.
Not as good.
Right. So and that's one of the things that scares people. They think that you got to go all organic,
Right.
or nothing. And it's like, no, there's a scale. You can go all organic versus all processed, all fast food. And the goal is to be 80-20. 80% of the time you eat great. 20% of the time you indulge. You live.
Yeah.
Sure.
But the problem is it's becoming switched.
Right. Meats, of course.
Meats, yes. That's a big one, and it's really
That's a big
about.
one.
I know, right?
It's about the. Gosh, it's really about the quality too. It's we focus on if you guys heard of grass-fed or free-range. So if you're going to eat beef or bison, anything like that, you want to eat grass-fed because that's what the cows are used to eating, and that's how they can process their food. They don't
naturally
eat. That's what they naturally eat. And chickens, you want free-range, so they're able to roam around, gather the food that they can eat, and they can digest naturally. So they're not filled with toxins, and then they don't get sick because when they're fed a natural foods, that's when they get pumped with the antibiotics and the things like that are toxic not only to the animal, but when we eat it, toxic to us too.
Right.
So
there's even a big difference in the meat that you procure at the supermarket.
Right,
So
right.
go with the
Well, yeah, because the meat's not only they have antibiotics, they have hormones in there, and all those are being directly correlated to the antibiotic resistance. All these bacteria that are going on, to all these hormonal deficiencies, the hormonal problems, the cancers are even linked back to the hormones that are in our food.
I've heard that the pesticides is also, or the genetic code for resisting the bugs is being transferred from the corn to the animal to us.
Well, yeah, I mean, like there's countries out there that don't even allow GMOs in their country.
Right.
So I mean that alone should raise a question like, well, why?
Why?
And then right now there's a big fight of just labeling GMOs.
Sure.
They don't want the GMO companies don't even want that to be labeled.
Right.
So why? Because it destroys your health.
Yeah.
That's why.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
And a funny thing you bring that up because that all has to go right into the legislative efforts.
yes.
Why are laws passed? Why are the GMO companies or the companies out there fighting against or supporting for these types of labels? And we'll be discussing that in our next segment.
So right now we're talking about food, right? What about water?
Oh,
Water. You should drink as much water as you can get in because that helps flush out the system. I mean, you're like, 70% of your body is water. So you want to feed it. It'll hydrate your cells. It'll allow you to eliminate toxins.
When like the number one reason for daytime fatigue is dehydration. And a lot of times when people are thirsty, they register that as if they're hungry. So they eat again, but they're really just thirsty.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so next time it's like midway through the day and you're hungry, think again, when's the last time you had some water? And drink lots of it. Don't just sip it. I like to tell people, when you put oil in a car, you just don't put a sip in the car.
Right.
You put a whole liter in there. So drink a full glass of water. I drink one right before I go to bed and right when I wake up because you use just as much water when you sleep as you do when you're awake.
Sure. So how much is a lot? Is there? I know that I've heard saying 3 glasses a day is enough.
I've heard 2 gallons.
Oh yeah, the 2 gallons.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't drink 2 gallons.
So,
That's too much.
Yeah,
How much is too much without hazing?
I mean, I think it'd be hard to drink too much water.
Okay.
Right, because you'll know. I mean, like he said, like when you're thirsty, eat a drink a full glass. A lot of you hear is like half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh like 200 pounds, let's say 100 ounces would be good for you. But
That's still a lot.
It'll help you if you just carry a water bottle around with you.
Right.
You always have it. You'll see it. It'll be on your desk. It'll be in the car, and then that just helps you.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you don't drink enough water, don't be afraid that you're going to drink too much water.
Okay.
That's most likely
That's a good point.
Most
That's a good
likely
point,
it's not going to happen. If your pee is clear, that's a good thing. Okay, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
but drink a lot, because when you don't drink a lot, the stress of the toxins being flushed out goes right to your liver rather than your kidneys flushing it out.
Right.
So you just tax your liver more.
Right.
Well, actually, you brought up a good point. Should the urine always be clear?
No, it doesn't have to be. But I mean, that's just a sign if you have really dark urine that you're dehydrated and need some more fluid to help flush out. But I mean, that's not like something that it has to be this way.
Okay.
It kind of varies depending on if you're on medications or if you're
Sure,
on
sure.
supplements or this, that can change it too.
The vitamins can definitely change it. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So great. Thank you very much again for the benefit of the audience. Tell us your company, where you're located, and your website.
Yeah, it's the New Health Chiropractic Center, 4180 Tree Boulevard, Suite A in Concord. And the website is www.thenewhealthcc.com.
Check us out.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for being here.
Thank
You're
you.
more than welcome to stay for the next two segments, especially for the legislative day. You know, I'm sure there's something in there that you might want to have an input on.
Yeah, we'd love to.
So we'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
¿Necesitas asesoramiento con respecto a un caso de inmigración? Nos especializamos en todas las áreas del derecho migratorio. ¿Quieres conseguir tu estadía legal en el país? Solo hay una cosa por hacer. Llama al 415-777-4445. www.kpblawyers.com. Son tus abogados de confianza. Llama al 415-777-4445. Con oficinas en San José, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Santa Rosa, Napa, Ucaya y Sacramento.
Are you in deportation proceedings? Do you have a friend in jail facing deportation? If the answer is yes, we will find the best avenue for you to obtain legal status in the United States. Contact Karosky, Purvis, and Bogue at 415-777-4445 or www.kpblawyers.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to H5C in your community, where we provide valuable information to our members. And we were just here talking about our backs, waters, spinal cords,
Health.
actually health,
Overall health.
health.
Take care of it.
Health in general.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a good thing to talk about health, and it's kind of interesting because people think we're a Hispanic chamber, we're supposed to do business, but we also talk about health and wellness, and we also talk about community.
Well, I mean that's part of business. If you're not healthy, you can't do business.
You can't do
so-
business.
That's
You can't
true.
do much if you're not healthy.
That
that's
is
for sure.
true. That is true. And and if you don't have the health, you can't really do any work. And and that's really the key is why are we working and what kind of work does the chamber do? And the past Tuesday we went up to Sacramento to do some advocating for small businesses in the state.
Sure.
And part of the purpose of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is we want to make sure small business environment is pushed through and make sure it's a friendly environment for small business.
Right.
Of course, you could hear a lot of people, man, it's difficult to do business up here in California, or it's hard to start a business, so on and so forth. And that's where I encourage everyone to talk to their local legislator and see what you can do to provide that avenue for small business, because this is going to be the bread. I believe this is the bread and butter of the economy.
Right.
Not the large corporation, and they're going to trickle down all their money into to pay wages or fair wages.
You wish that happens, right?
Yeah, I wish. But it's the business owners that go out there and hustle and do work for their community and of course to make a living for themselves and their family. So last Tuesday there were 7 of us delegates in Contra Costa that went up to Sacramento, and we talked about the future of energy within the state of California. There was a expert talking about fracturing.
Yes.
Fracking. Also talk about the water situation and the drought within the state of California and what the plans were and what people were doing. But the most important part was our visits to our local legislators.
That was very impressive.
So we went to go visit a few senators, Lonnie Hancock and Mark DeSaulnier, as well as a few assembly members, Jim Frazier, Susan Bonilla, and Joan Buchanan. And we went up to them and say, and this is the bill of summary provided by the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, our state level. These are the bill summaries of what we as an organization feel that we should support or we should oppose. And we're going to go, there's a whole bunch of them, I would say a good 20 of them, but we're going to pick apart a few of them and talk a little bit about it. So the first one that I wanted to talk about is the AB 1564, which was authored by Manuel Perez. And it has to do with income tax credits. The income tax credits is going to apply to research and development, and not just, and the thought behind this is because we have such a huge R&D in tech in the tech field.
Sure.
Why don't we offer an incentive, or why doesn't the state offer an incentive for R&D for other fields besides tech? Biomedical, medical, petroleum, biopetroleum, even food service industry could use R&D credits. So this, unfortunately, does not stimulate a lot of small business growth, but it stimulates a lot of job growth. And jobs and economics, job growth and education is what the California Hispanic Chambers is really wanting to support, make sure there's a good lifestyle for people. So the first bill is meant for overall income tax credit for larger corporations, but again to focus on R&D other than tech. And that's what I gathered on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, anytime you put research and development towards something, it's good because you're learning about a specific topic, as much as you can, so that you can prove it, you can see that it's actually working, you know how to market it, you know how to use it. So I mean, like you said, any field, the more you can know and the more you can research and develop those fields, the better it is for the consumer and the economy.
Yeah, it's better for people. It brings opportunity. We know that.
Right.
We know that. Another bill that we want to help support is a bill, AB 2216 by Murasuchi. It's the regional occupational centers and programs to continue the funding. So basically, each section of the county and within the state, there's occupational centers, vocation centers for adults to relearn or introduce new skills to them. And this bill continues the funding for those centers. And it's a great way to help basically people who don't have the skills get the skills and go back into the workforce. So that's a bill that's supported by the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. Here's one, the labor one, which is really important. And I'm kind of torn behind this because I see it on both ends. But the bill is AB 1522. It's sponsored by Gonzalez, and it's basically makes it into law that employers must pay a sick day, have a sick day, a paid sick day. And the California Hispanic Chambers is opposing this bill for the reasons because small business owners can make their decision on how to benefit.
Sure.
This is a benefit package for employees, and to mandate an employer to provide benefit, we felt it was already too much over-regulation.
Sure.
You know, and it's going to cost the small business, you know,
More
expenses
right.
basically.
Exactly.
So it's a, you know, as a working person, it's you know, who wouldn't want a paid sick leave?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, you know, you never know when you're going to get sick, and that would be nice. But I mean, we definitely see on the opposite side that we would like to see companies paying more for like the health, like proactive stuff, so that there is less sick days.
Prevention.
Yeah, it's all about prevention, and really, people might not think, but they do have a lot of control in their health. You know, with what they eat, how they move. You know, seeing a chiropractor, any sort of healthcare, you know, alternative person is going to help them reduce those sick days anyways. So
that's a good point.
yeah, I mean, that,
Very good point.
we would like to see corporations switch into that.
I can
side
tell
too.
you know, as a small business owner, do you get a sick day?
Well, the good thing is
Not
there's
really.
two of us, so
There's
if one is
know,
sick,
right?
we got the other one going.
We don't consider it a sick day.
I think they should change the law to the state of California pays the business owners a sick day.
Yeah, exactly.
That would
exactly.
be
That'd be
helpful.
nice.
That would be
That'd be great.
Or maybe just a fun day, right?
A fun day, yeah.
Just a fun day off.
Here's another bill that's going to be particularly important especially for the state of California and their relationship with the country of Mexico, and it is the SB 928 sponsored by Correa, and it's the International Trade and Investment Office. This bill will allow the state of California to open a Go Biz office in Mexico City. And the Go Biz office is really to help promote international trade between the two countries, between Mexico and California. Not the countries, just Mexico and California. So it'll give us a direct relationship in regards to international trade. And that's one of the bills that the California Hispanic Chambers will be supporting moving forward. And it's going to bring all sorts of opportunity because, you know, Mexico is our next door neighbor.
Absolutely,
There's plenty of resources and products and opportunities in between the two states. So it only makes sense to move forward with that.
I think so too, yeah.
It'll be interesting how that comes about.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, feel free to join us on our government affairs to
go down to Mexico.
Trip?
You never know.
trip?
You know,
Right,
Beth,
no.
to be honest with you, we get invited to go visit all sorts of
That's
many
great.
places.
Well, I mean, I grew up in San Diego, so I grew up going to Mexico all the time because it's a 20-minute drive,
there
you
you
know.
go.
So if it's something that, you know, just mutually beneficial for both, you know, countries and state, well, I mean, why, like I said, why not?
Why
you know?
not? Exactly. Especially when it's a win-win for both, you know, both organizations
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
entities. So, lastly, this is the one that you guys might
We might have
a
some
nice
opinions
trip.
on here.
This is a SB 1000 sponsored by Monning, and this is for the public health bill to provide safety warnings on sugar-sweetened beverages. And the California Hispanic Chambers is going to oppose this just because there's so much regulation and oversight
Yeah.
within all sorts of industries. You know, what did warning labels do with, you know, what did it do for cigarettes? Did it curb smoking? Not really.
Right,
Not
right,
really.
right.
Did it, you know, did that extra tax provide programs? Yeah, it probably provided some smoking cessation programs, but, you know, the argument here is it's ultimately up to the consumers to decide
If
water,
they should drink this
soda,
or not. Yeah.
or milk.
Yeah, I mean, we could see both sides, like you said, like just because there's warnings on cigarette labels, people still smoke, or even on alcoholic beverages, everything, right? The only thing is, I don't think people understand how detrimental sugar actually can be to your health. That's one of our big things we educate on. So when you think sugar, I automatically think of like a cookie or a brownie or something like that. But there's so many hidden sugars in so many things, and that's really how people get kind of addicted to the drink because they're craving that sugar buzz, and it. I mean,
Well, I guess I
affects
think
everything.
it's a good idea. Will it be effective? I guess
Right, sure.
That's-
I guess
yeah,
that's the
Right.
I guess that's the answer we want to know, right?
Exactly.
Are we going to put effort and spending on this? Is it going to be effective? So
Big enough to-
I like the idea if it's effective. You know,
if it, I think the education part is going to take a community to educate people the dangers of sugar, the dangers of drinking too. Of course, having a sugar beverage once in a while is not gonna.
Right, absolutely not.
But
Right.
that's not the thing now, though. Like, people don't have just a sugar beverage every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, in the early 1900s, we had average American would have 5 pounds of sugar a year.
Wow.
And now we're having 150 pounds of sugar.
150 pounds.
And it's really because there is so many hidden sugars,
Right.
like so many different words that these. So it might not say sugar on the label, but if it says like high fructose corn syrup, any word that has a OSE at the end of it, it means it's a sugar, and that's what you start craving, and that's what people get used to. So, and we were just you go to a Starbucks maybe once a day, twice a day, and that's filled with sugar. It's just there's so many different hidden things that you don't know. Where it can become harmful.
Plus, those energy drinks are not really helping much.
Yeah, exactly.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
And regarding the bill, this bill, I met a gentleman by the name of Pedro Carrillo, and we actually have an interview with him. But his organization represents the beverages organizations throughout the state of California.
Oh, really?
And listen to the interview, and you guys be very surprised. Hi, this is Johnny with H5C in your community. I'm here with Pedro Carrillo with Urban Associates Incorporated, and he represents CalBev. Thank you, Pedro, for being here with us. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do and what you're doing here?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, we're very happy to be here and join the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce and their efforts. It's obviously an economic and legislative day, and the American Beverage Association is very serious in supporting the Chamber's efforts, specifically because the Chamber's efforts are our efforts, and today it's important to advocate with the Chambers and tell people in legislature what impact some of the legislature they're considering have on small businesses throughout the state of California, specifically in communities of color, which the California Hispanic Chambers do a great job in representing. And so today we lend our voice to the chambers, and we arm ourselves with information. The summit's been very productive. The analysis of bills has been very educational, and obviously the networking opportunities that we've had, not just in Contra Costa County, but with chambers throughout the state, has been invaluable.
Excellent. Thank you, Pedro. The CalBev is a very important part of the overall legislation on health issues, and your position with them is to educate the community
Throughout the state has been invaluable.
Excellent. Thank you, Pedro. The CalBev is a very important part of the overall legislation on health issues, and your position with them is to educate the community.
Oh, without doubt.
And tell me a little bit about what the community needs to know about the beverage industry.
And again, I wanted to thank the Contra Costa County Chambers of Commerce for actually they participated in the American Beverage Association tour, where we facilitated a tour of one of the member companies, PepsiCo, and one of the things that people were asking us were, well, what's your corporate public responsibility to our community? And we didn't shy away. We said, look, we believe in education and choice, and we want to make sure that our industry's footprint is protected, that we continue to provide jobs in our community, that we continue to provide those union jobs, and that we can continue to advocate for healthy choices. Right? Again, education and choice is paramount in everything that we do, and we all have to understand those choices that we make, whether they are in our social lives or in our everyday lives when we go to the store or when we're eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, that we're making healthy choices, that we advocate that exercise is a key ingredient to living a healthy and sound life. And for all of that, the association stands with the chamber. And again, we stand with the chamber today actually to make certain that the legislators across the street hear how some in our social lives or in our everyday lives when we go to the store or when we're eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, that we're making healthy choices, that we advocate that exercise is a key ingredient to living a healthy and sound life. And for all of that, the association stands with the chamber. And again, we stand with the chamber today actually to make certain the legislators across the street hear how some of that legislation may negatively impact our communities.
Jobs, education, community, and this is what we're all about. Thank you very much. This is Johnny with H5C in your community.
Yeah, Johnny, that was a great interview.
So yeah, the interview with Pedro Carrillo was very interesting, and his position is it's all about community education.
Absolutely.
And getting the word. I mean, sugar beverages or sweetened beverages will be around for a while.
Yeah.
Depending on how people look at it. So, but the point of it on his side is education for the community, for the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. The small business owners is, what are you going to do? You have a case full of refrigerated beverages that you've bought, and then now the law comes around. Next thing you know, you need to buy ones with the warning labels. You can't serve,
change
other
the
soft
beverages.
you got to
That's
change
true.
it.
Well, I
change
mean,
the beverages.
because like one of the things in that interview, what he says is talking about protecting the industry. Well, we're not trying to protect the industry; we're trying to help people get healthy. So it's like where do you stand? I mean, granted, the business owner has to make the money and sell the product. Well, the product doesn't help people.
Sure.
The product leads to mental problems, all the ADHD stuff. That is all correlated to the sugar drinks. So I mean.
Yeah, so like you were saying, the education is what should be stressed more just on the health, because I mean, just even in schools, like I don't remember getting any sort of health education unless you're actually going to actively, in college study it. But I think that's where a lot of our extra efforts should be focused on, is learning about it.
Me personally, I think they should get the sodas out of the schools.
Yeah.
Just flat out, don't even bother of educating the kids. They're gonna learn about sodas anyways.
Right.
Just make sure there's no vending machines
It's
at
not
the
easily
schools.
Yeah, I mean,
accessible.
growing up, I never had like sodas in the fridge.
Right.
Had some Kool-Aid here and there, and
I had free access.
Everyone's gotta have Kool-Aid.
I had free access
but
to a
I
soda machine.
was
and,
never really exposed to soda as much, as they do now. So, yeah, I'm
it's
for
pretty
it.
prevalent. And the first time I saw a soda machine in my high school, that was back in the 90s. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to give out my age. But yeah, and we were like, whoa, soda machine, never saw this. Oh, cool. Next thing you know, we're pumping money. And of course, it's profitable for the organizations. But, in turn, should the schools be telling the kids, hey, there's a lot of sugar in this?
Buy, yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit of both, the community and the organizations. But, again, I think the position of the California Hispanic Chambers is this oversight it's already enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough as far as the oversight. We just got to make sure that as a community we're out there educating rather than forcing organizations or forcing people to add on extra expenses.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think you hit it right on the head. I mean, it's inevitable. We're going to deal with community. We're going to deal with organizations. But it all starts from home.
It starts from home.
What do you give to your children? Because from very little, that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Yeah, so it's not so much about the label, it's about the reason why, and then
Exactly.
that's how-
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's how that comes.
So we're going to take our third break, and we'll come back with the upcoming events. Thank you very much for your input on the sugar sweeteners. It's very, very important that we get the feedback from everyone.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
thank you very much. We'll be going into a commercial break. Oh, welcome back to H5C in your community. And right now we got a few minutes left. We're going to talk about upcoming events. Let's start with you. You have an event tomorrow.
Yeah, so since we've been talking about health and nutrition, we're actually doing a nutrition workshop tomorrow, Wednesday the 21st at In Shape in Concord at 7 p.m. And it's free whether you're a member there or not.
Excellent. So tomorrow at In Shape Gym in Concord, free. We also have a ribbon cutting tonight. We're celebrating the ribbon cutting for Authentic Lifestyle Designs. Liz Ramos, if you were there, if everybody was, people were there last
Mechanics Bank.
Last week
Yeah,
at
she
the
did really
Mechanics
good.
Bank. It was a great session in strength coaching. She's going to be continuing the
That's
talk
great.
tonight. It's going to be at the State Farm office on 2261 Morello Avenue, in suite number 8 in Pleasant Hill. This is a virtual ribbon cutting, actually, because Liz does not officially have an office. She has a virtual office.
Okay.
So she's going to have a virtual ribbon cutting at the State Farm office.
Nice.
Now, one thing I wanted to stress out is very important. Our member, which is Chelsea Brackett, who's the broker of State Farm, she actually is going to allow her, or we're going to join together to host this ribbon cutting. So this is one of
All
the
about
beautiful
helping
things
each
about
other.
It's all about helping each other. Exactly. So, and our next mixer is on the May 28th at Los Medanos College. It's going to be sponsored by Pacific Gas and Electric. It's going to be a social event. Starts at 5:30, and for those out in the East County looking to do business with each other, come join us at the Los Medanos College on May 28th at 5:30. We also have an event out in Richmond. This is a business and community reception featuring the Mexico Consul General. So Dr. Andres Isaac Romer Slomensky, San Francisco General,
Good job.
Consul
Good job.
General.
I know, right? Good job. Good job.
And the event will be at La Revolucion Restaurant in Richmond, 3190 Closeway, on May 22nd, this Thursday at 5:30. So if you're looking to do business, international trade, we talk about international trade.
Right.
This is the perfect opportunity to go out there and talk about your business with the General Consul of Mexico.
That's great.
So we also have a health and wellness event. Did you know we have a health and wellness committee?
I did.
Good,
yes,
good.
we talked to them.
So we have a free educational evening with our committee. It's going to be on June 9th at 6 p.m. at 1875 Olympic Boulevard, Suite 105. And it's free for the community. They're going to be talking about family care plan, how to maintain your aging loved one with a safe and a happy in their own home.
Yeah, that's
And by the way, we're looking for committee members.
plug.
Well, and we're going to have another ribbon cutting
Yes,
in June.
yes.
That's awesome.
Dr. Aurora Patino, she's an orthodontics. You might
Yeah,
want to be a
I know
power
her.
partner. And she's going to have a daytime ribbon cutting, an open house / ribbon cutting between 11 a.m. and to 2 p.m. And it's going to be held at her office on 2751 Concord Boulevard in Concord. And Dr. Aurora Patino is one of our members. She was a guest of our show, and it'd be great. So I want to also thank the listeners in the following cities: in Oakland, Oakley, Concord, Pleasant Hill, Bay Point, and the 15 plus cities within
150
that's
plus
100.
cities.
I
Wow.
need my glasses. 150
And,
California cities. Thank you very much for
thank you
listening.
very
in.
much for listening.
Thank you.
Let us know how we're doing, and let us know what you'd like to see in our show. Be glad to engage with you. We have our Festival of Latin Culture that's up and running and it's going. Save the date is August 23rd.
We'll be
We're
there.
still
We will
looking
be
for
there.
vendors, exhibitors, entertainers.
Good event.
It's going to be an awesome day.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
we'll be there. We'll be a vendor. We'll be doing a free spinal evaluation, so come by and check it out.
Excellent.
So remember, if you have any questions, if you want to stop by and just say hello, please visit the New Health Chiropractic Center located at 4180 Treat Boulevard, Suite A1 in Concord, California. Zip code is 94518. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
both
very
of you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
being a guest of the show. And from what I understand, we're going to be talking about you maybe becoming a
Yes.
host
Yeah.
of the
Yes.
show. So
Yes.
this is exciting.
It is
Yeah,
very,
very.
much so. We're excited.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're out of time. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Tengan un fin de semana.
Feel the music. Can you feel the music? Come on. you feel